if you're one of the many people that now works from home on a regular basis, then having smart devices within your home can make things just that little bit easier. So in this video, I'm going to go through 10 different devices that I think will make things just that bit better for you when you're working from home. Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video on Bite of Geek. So working from home, well, whether you've been doing this for a number of years or, you've just started out, whether it's full-time or part-time, having some smart devices around your home can be a real benefit to you in the day-to-day run of things. So in this video, I'm going to go through 10 devices that I think will be of some benefit to you. So without further ado, we'll jump straight in with the first one. So the first one is a smart speaker, whether that is your Google or an Amazon or an Apple smart speaker, whatever ecosystem you decide to choose, having a smart speaker available to you at your desk whilst you're working can be a real benefit. Just going from the basic, if you're the type of person that likes music playing whilst you're working, having it play that, whether it's streaming music or whether you're doing streaming radio stations or something like that. But also, if you need to focus and concentrate on something, then having something a little bit softer can be something that can really help you focus. I think one of the other benefits with your smart speaker is obviously, if you are working from home and you're working from home alone, you don't necessarily have somebody to kind of like bounce ideas off of or ask questions regarding stuff that you're working on. So having that smart speaker available to be able to answer some of these things can be really beneficial to you whilst you're slogging away all day long. And then of course, this video is all about smart devices whilst you're working from home, and a smart speaker, whatever one you choose from the three that I mentioned, will be able to control an awful lot of the devices that are mentioned within this video. So you don't need to kind of be dragging out an application in order to achieve that. Okay, so the next item on the list, and I think this is a pretty underrated item really, I've recently got one of these, but a smart thermostat. So for me it's for a heating system, for you it could be to do with controlling air conditioning or something like that, depending upon where you are in the world, and what your needs are. Having something like this, certainly if you're a sole person working from home, if it's heating, is massively beneficial. It's a cost-saving device. No longer do you need to heat the whole house or go round turning all your radiator valves off to not heat the whole house. You can do that all with your your smart speaker or whatever device you're using to control your smart home. It can be a real money saver in doing that. These smart thermostats, they can learn kind of, what your routines are. Obviously, you can configure all the kind of on and off times and temperatures and everything throughout your day and your week. You could set that according to your kind of like schedule that you're working from home. But also, they do things like, they learn all of these things, and they detect when windows are open and stuff like that. So, when you're in an office, your employer is paying the bills for all of this electricity and, whether it's gas or whatever, fuel that you're using to heat your home. When you're at home, if you're fortunate enough that your employer contributes towards something like that, fantastic. But an awful lot of people will be paying, those heating costs themselves, and being able to be on top of that and just heat according to where you are, where you're working, can be an absolute money saver. So whilst it's a bit of an investment up front, you do get payback from this over a period of time. Okay, so the third item on the list, probably not one for everyone, but I've been using one for a few months now, and it's really quite beneficial, and that is an air quality monitor. Now you can get these in all different price ranges. You can get them in kit forms, you can simply put them together, but the overall benefit of them is not to be underestimated. So, if you're fortunate enough that where you're working from at home is, quite a large room, and you've got windows in it and stuff like that that you can open, and there's a good flow of air around you, then probably not going to be a massive benefit to you. But if you're working in like an awful lot of people will be, probably the smallest room in the house, the one that you couldn't fit a bed into, and it's just generally the kind of like the rubbish room. If you're working in there, then if you've got the door closed because you're on video calls and stuff like that, then as you're talking away, then carbon dioxide builds up during the day. You output all of that, and having an air quality monitor will help you understand what the levels are like within the room where you are working. I use an air gradient one, and there's a set of lights on the front of it that will go bright red should the CO2 levels on it get too high within the room. And that's just with me just talking away, and I know then I can just open the window, let some of that out, get a bit of fresh air in the room. If I don't do that, then I do notice that I become a little bit more sluggish during the day. Mind starts to wander. It's a little bit more difficult to concentrate. So real benefit to having a bit of an idea of what the air quality is like in the area that you're working in. Okay, so number 4 on the list, well, this is smart lighting. So many different things that you can do with smart lighting whilst you're working from home. Obviously, if you're using computer screens, stuff like that, laptops, big screens, whatever, having your smart lighting to stop glare on the screen so that you can reduce eye strain, massively beneficial, prevents things like headaches and stuff like that. I think one of the other really cool things that you can do, if you work at home and maybe your partner or somebody else within the house works at home as well at the same time, and you kind of working in separate zones within the house, you never know when a convenient time is to take somebody a cup of tea or something like that. Then using smart lights to indicate whether it's convenient or not is a great idea. Whether you have a little lamp outside your office door, or whether you've got each got a lamp on your desk or something like that. You use LED strips, whatever. Being able to just press a little button on your desk and change the color of the light, where the other person's working, just to indicate that you are busy at that point in time, can be massively helpful for both of you. Obviously, lots of other things you can do. Somebody at the front door ringing your smart doorbell, you could have it flash a light rather than ring the doorbell in the house whilst you're on a video call or something like that. So many different options. Your mind can really start to go to town on this. So smart lighting, really cheap to go and implement, but many benefits, depending upon how you use it. Okay, so number 5 on the list, just mentioned smart doorbells. So smart doorbells, smart security cameras. Don't underestimate the benefit of having something like this in place whilst you're working at home. Being able to see, maybe you've got deliveries coming to the house, and certainly in the UK, parcel deliveries now, well, they no longer really get handed to the person in the house. They get left on the doorstep, the doorbell's rung, and the driver's in the van before you even get out your chair. So being able to see these things being delivered, see if there's somebody around your house whilst you're working, being able to tell someone, leave that parcel somewhere else, a little bit more secure whilst you're working. Maybe you can't come out your meeting or something like that. Great benefit to have something like that within your house. And there's a whole range of these devices on the marketplace now, all with different levels of functionality, whether they're battery powered or whether they're mains powered, the choice really is yours. Okay, so next on the list, and this one's probably going to divide a few people, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway, and that is a smart lock. And until you actually use one of these when you're working from home, you don't realize how much of a kind of like game changer it is. Being able to just quickly glance at your smart device and know that you're going to lock the door. If you're working home alone and maybe you're upstairs in the house or away from where your main entrance is, where you've got the lock, just being able to know that that is actually locked is really, really beneficial from a security point of view. Now you might say, well, I always know my door is locked. I lock the door with the key and I take the key out and I put that in my pocket, and that's my way of knowing it. I can't argue with that. What I will say though is that having a smart lock in a smart home ecosystem and being able to just quickly glance at whatever app you're going to use to be able to see whether that is locked is a real game changer, certainly for people who are working from home by themselves. Okay, so next on the list is smart plugs, smart sockets, smart multi-gang sockets, all those kinds of devices. I think, if you're lucky enough to be able to put all your work equipment in one place within your home, then, these can be really beneficial. Just plug them all in. You can turn them all off with a flick of a button on your smart app or something like that, or, ask your smart speaker to turn them off. If maybe you're in a fortunate position that your employer, lets you kind of like, charge a bit of your energy usage, and you claim that back off your employer, then, having power monitoring sockets, helps you understand how much, work electricity you're using, as it were, and claim some of that back from them. Just being able to plug in your non-smart devices as part of your work setup and control those as well. It makes it so much easier. You don't need to go around flicking off all the switches and things like that, flicking them all back on in the morning, or even worse, just leaving them all plugged in overnight as well. So, all relatively cheap nowadays to get these kinds of plugs and sockets. They used to be really expensive, but now, you can pick up kind of like 4 packs of them for about 20 odd pounds. So, really quite cheap to achieve these kinds of things as your kind of like your office setup. Okay, so the next item on my list of work from home smart devices, well, this one's really, really useful during the summer. I can vouch for this type of thing to be connected onto your smart home, and that is smart shades. Whether that's blinds, roller shades, curtains, whatever. Being able to draw these things down really, really easily, or even connect them with other smart devices to be able to do that automatically. When the sun is absolutely beaming through a window, is just massively beneficial. So, you kind of like, you cut down the overall heat that's coming in through that window. So if you're sat next to a window, you can keep the room a bit cooler for you. You'll cut down the glare on the screen as well. So, similar to kind of like the lighting and getting the lighting right, you'll cut down the glare on the screen. That will reduce the eye strain again, stops you getting headaches, all that kind of stuff. But, just is really, really simple to go and operate. And again, a little bit of an outlay to start off with, but, you'll use these all year round, and not just for summer, but they are super useful during the summer. Okay, so next item on the list. Well, if you've been sat there all day long, slogging away at your desk, the last thing you want to do is to have to start cleaning the house at the end of the day. So having something like a smart robo vacuum can be an absolute godsend. It's just a massive benefit to have. This thing can go around cleaning your house for you whilst you're, happily getting on with your day job. And, when you finally close down that laptop screen at the end of the day, you can sit back, relax, knowing that you've got a lovely clean floor around your house. Okay, you may have to go and take it up another level if you've got, multi-floors within your house, but that's no great deal breaker for the benefit that it gives you. And finally, to control all of these smart devices within your home, well, if you're using Home Assistant, then having something like a touchscreen tablet, or something that's a bit more of a dedicated piece of hardware, like the Link ISG Display Max, having one of those set up on your desk so that you can quickly and easily see kind of like your devices and control them that way. Have your video feeds from your doorbell and your security cameras pop up when something's detected. Super beneficial when you're working from home. You just have that on your desk. So those are my working from home gadgets. Do you have anything like that in your work from home setup? Let me know down below in the comments. Are there other things that I've not mentioned that you're using in your work from home setup? Feel free to drop it down below in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. All the products that I've mentioned in the video will be linked down below in the description if you want to go and have a look at them. But as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.